Okay, I think I'm ready. Oh, the background worked. Nice. Okay. Very good. Uh, what day are we on? Thursday. Happy Thursday, everybody. Praise be the spiral. Hopefully everything's working right. I'm a bit rushed. Hopefully you can hear me okay. The printer is being really noisy. Trying to print in PETG for Skazlin's prize from Saturday. And it's a nightmare to print in, I found. So we'll see how it goes anyway. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm just drinking water and lemonade tonight, nothing special. Praise be the Fibonacci. Yeah. Oh, I need to add Fibonacci as a background, don't I, as well? I shall do that at some point. Got to have all the competitions in there, I think. We haven't got a chess one, actually. We need a chess one as well. Yeah, so I think I'll add a chess. I'm going to write that down, actually. I don't have a piece of paper in front of me. I've been drawing all week, and I haven't got a piece of paper in front of me. What the hell? All right, I'm not going to... Oh, it's there. I'm going to... You just write chess and fib, and then I'll remember what that is then. All Fibonacci numbers. Oh, maybe that's a good thing. Anyway, happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Mega 65 pre-order day, as it is. Very impressed with how fast those have sold. Very impressed indeed. Thank you for the hosts, by the way, Proud7 and Andrew Magic Knight. Oh, God. There's no gas in that, but it really makes me feel a bit gassy for some reason. Yeah, it's sold incredibly fast. So I'm glad. It really is a good piece of kit. I mean, I know it is expensive, and I know some people have got reservations about the price. But I think they've done the best they can with it. It's honestly, it's such a good piece of hardware. I'm surprised they've managed to get it to the price that they have as well. Yeah, from what I can tell, they've sold the initial 400 already, and they're into the next batch of 1,000, which ship next year. So I think the batch, I think the 400 batch is going to try to be shipped by Christmas, but it may extend slightly into next year. So, but I'm sure they'll do the best they can. I'm going to vote I'm winning one at Christmas just because I have that power. Actually, I don't have that power. That'd be really unfair of me. I mean, I do want one. I'm happy with the dev kit. I mean, the dev kit can do everything already. Plus, it's got the JTAG connector in it as well, which you don't get by standard. So that's one thing to note as well. If you have pre-ordered one, and you want to connect over USB to it, over USB serial, which is going to be pretty useful for development, then you need to buy the JTAG adapter for it as well. I think there's a link on the pre-order page to the correct JTAG adapter that you need. That's about all I can tell you about it. I don't know exactly because it came pre-installed on this thing. So there may be a LAN protocol set up, an Ethernet protocol set up before release or shortly after release, which I'm hoping to document in the book when I eventually do the book. I'm definitely going to do the book now. I started doing the kind of prototype for my game today. I mocked it up yesterday. I started coding it today. It's kind of working all right, actually. In terms of kind of the visuals, the graph paper looks good. It looks how I'd expect it to look, so that's nice. But I'm using that as what I'm doing is every kind of small step along the way, I'm making a commit to the repo. And then that will give me a nice history that I can look at when it comes to writing a book about the topics, like the order that I've done things in. It's also given me an opportunity to fiddle around a little bit with the scripts. So I've kind of created a copy of the scripts, and I'm going to fiddle around with them a little bit. And when I'm done, I'll release the version that I used. I'll strip it down to just what I used for the game, and release that as well. But yeah, anyway, congratulations to everybody that's ordered one in the first batch of 400. Congratulations to anybody that's ordered one at all. Really, you're in for a treat. They're really, really good. It's a really good system, as we've seen over the years. So that's why I've been going on and on about it. So only 2 people ordered one. I think there is a poll. So there is a poll over that way somewhere, probably. I actually, I don't know where it would be on your Twitch, but for me it's over there. So but one thing I've realized with the polls is not everybody notices them. Not everybody fills them in. I think we get quite a lot of background kind of viewers, which is fine. A lot of lurkers is never a bad thing, and I'm sure it will. I'm sure it'll increase as the night goes on. Into well, actually, it's not bad. There's a few people answering now. We're up to 12 answers. Let me just put a note on Twitter to say that I'm live. I forgot to add to that. That's the wrong. Where is it? This one. There we go. Oh, I didn't add in the channel either. I'll do that now as well. Feel really happy today. I think it's because the orders are in. So how low kind of order number did you guys get? Where do you think you've come in the order list? Because I know Amok's probably been dying to get in kind of early, and it seems like the first 400 sold out in maybe about 5 hours or so, which is pretty impressive, really, considering how long the dev kits took. And the dev kits were only, well, after shipping and stuff, three to £400 more. But obviously the dev kits, there's always going to be less interest in the dev kits for 2 reasons. One, they're released early in the kind of marketing cycle, so not everybody knows about them. Just put this in here. And also they're dev kits, so people are kind of wary that a dev kit isn't gonna isn't going to be as fully featured as the full thing. But actually, the dev kits are pretty much everything that the main machine is, except for the case. That's it, really. In fact, it's a little bit more because it's got the JTAG adapter in as well. Right, I think that's the right URL. I never know which. I think that'll work. I'm going to try it out now anyway. Yeah, that works. All right, cool. Let me just spam that into a few other channels, and then we'll crack on. What else have I got to add? I don't really have anything else to add tonight. I think that pretty much covers it. Oh, the game. I'm going to work on that game. So the game I posted in the creation share is the kind of rough idea of what I want to do. I want to create something that looks like it's drawn on paper. So that's what I've kind of. I did some sketches on the. You can't really see that. I did some sketches of ships on paper until I had something I was happy with, and now I'm just kind of in the process of converting that basically to the Mega 65. The mock-up that I did was in full kind of Mega 65 limitation mode, so it was using index colors and stuff. Shmup head, yeah, Shmup head is a good idea. There's a couple of names I've been thinking of. I'm not gonna say too much about them, but I will definitely keep you guys posted with a bit more update here and there. I don't want to give you too much, partly because I don't want you guys to start forcing scope creep with your ideas. I'm already considering putting legs on the thing so it can walk on some level. So but I probably won't do that. I'm probably just going to keep it as a shoot 'em up. But the idea is that it will be kind of R-type style shoot 'em up. There we go. Spanned a few channels. I don't feel right unless I've spanned a couple of channels. So. Yeah, the idea is it will be. Thank you for the resub, Sean. Appreciate it. Cheers. I'm only drinking water tonight, so cheers. Well, water and lemonade, or San Pellegrino lemonade, whatever it is, limonata. It's lemonade, basically. Yeah, so it's going to be a side-scrolling shoot 'em up. It's going to be black and white mostly. There's a bit of color where the graph paper is, but the backgrounds will all be look like they're drawn in pencil, so they'll have that kind of shimmer to them as they animate. Kind of the lines wiggle a little bit, and the stuff that's foreground will all be look like it's drawn on paper, cut out, and stuck to the page. There'll probably be a couple of layers on it, so I'll be using RRB for a few layers, and it will just be a kind of bullet hell shooter, basically, sort of thing. Did you fix the Resident Evil 3? No, I haven't. I won't be doing that tonight anyway. I'm quite tired. I'm finding that after work I'm really, really tired. So we need a JTAG adapter to use M65 Connect with the Omega 65. At the moment, yes. There is talk of the same protocol being enabled over Ethernet. So whether or not that is ready in time for launch, I do not know. But what I do know is that the USB connector doesn't come with the machine. You have to get it's on the pre-order page. If you just look down the trends page, there's a list of other kind of things for it, and one of them is the JTAG USB JTAG adapter. I think it's the very first link on that page. So. Thanks for the gift sub, Sean, to Gareth 1130. Appreciate it as ever. And the resub from Kate Apocalypse as well. Cheers, guys. Yeah, because if you want to launch as part of your build, you'll need that kind of method to do that. It shouldn't be expensive. I think they're only cheap. Certainly in comparison to the Meg 65, they're only cheap. It's just a tiny circuit board. It's probably about the size of a box of matches, if that, maybe a bit smaller actually. Down it takes water. Not down, and that'll be on the toilet all night. I'm already my stomach's been really funny recently. My bladder, I just not been able to hold liquid very well. I've been. You guys don't need to know this. Whatever. Thanks for the bit steps as well. The Hitch Miner. You know. Seen that for a while. No, 2 Paul was the winner of the poll. 3 people believe they're winning one at Christmas, including myself. Christmas, and 4 people said hell yeah. I mean, that's pretty good. It is pretty good. That means we have 1% of the people who ordered roughly in stream and listening to the poll. I saw a lot of people spamming their order numbers, so it definitely seems to be selling well. They must be really pleased at Mega 65. I'm really kind of happy for them. I think they deserve it. It's a great, as I said on their channel, it's a great machine, maybe a great team, and they deserve it. Thank you for the bits, Pro7. Appreciate it. It's a machine I think has way more potential than the Spectrum Next did. And I think if the community continues the way it has done this year, for the next few years, I think we're going to see a lot of stuff come out for it. Bear in mind that there's a lot of developers that want to use it that haven't even dived into it yet. So there's going to be a lot more soon. Obviously, adapters will be available in August. I would have a word with the guys on the Mega 65 channel. Maybe there is plans to definitely release the Ethernet connection before then, before the release, in which case you wouldn't need it anyway. You can still, I mean, obviously, you can still write to an SD card and put the SD card in the machine, which is what I was doing at first before I figured out how to connect it up properly. So what are the limitations just using the Nexus instead of Mega 65 itself? Well, the main one is that you don't have the keyboard, the joystick ports. You don't have any of the kind of I/O interfaces that you have on the real machine. So you don't have an IEC port, so you can't connect real hard drives, disk drives to it. Obviously, you don't have a disk drive in it. You don't have a keyboard. You don't have joystick ports. There's a few other limitations as well. I think the sound is mono on the Nexus, not duo, not stereo, duo. What am I on about? There's also the VGA rather than HDMI. So, and the VGA is limited. Its color range is 4 bits per channel. So even though you can set 8 bits per channel, 7 on red, but 8 on green and blue, you will only actually see 4 bits per channel on the machine, on the output on the VGA. So in other words, the lower 4 bits of the color that you're setting are basically kind of indistinguishable from each other through VGA. You won't be able to see them. What else is there? I think that's probably about it. Trying to think. Oh, you only get one SD card slot as well. But, yeah, I think that's about it. I'm just looking at the machine now to see if there's anything else that would be different. And obviously the firmware, the bit streams are different as well. But that, I mean, that's not such a big deal really. The bit streams seem to be pretty close to each other. There's very few things I've found that are wrong. Okay, right. Let's carry on with the code tonight. So we're going to do some Cecconoid tonight, as it's Thursday. We're going to do. Let me just clear my messages on here so I can see if something comes. I went to one of those Amazon fresh cashierless shops today. That was fun. Felt like I was shoplifting. Just walk in. Oh yeah, let me add points to you all. Just walk in, grab the stuff that you want, walk out. Very weird. And decent prices as well, actually. But it did feel very weird. And the thing is, it's quite smart as well, because I was grabbing, so I can't remember what it was. I think it was tomatoes or something like that. And there was a guy stocking the tomatoes next to it, and I was right next to him, and I basically put my bag next to him and just took it and put it in my bag. There was very little room that you could have seen me put that in the bag, but they managed to list it on my Amazon account, and it was absolutely perfect. Oh, I typed add point. Yeah, I did. Sorry. There you go. All right, let me start the races for you all, and then I'll crack on with the code. So what we're going to do tonight, we're just going to take a step back from the game logic a little bit, and we're going to take a look at dynamic code loading. So because we're having some issues with kind of the memory filling up pretty quickly, I want to see how we can kind of alleviate that by loading in only what we need for each screen. The system charged by who picked it up first. Oh wow! Yeah, I've never. That would be interesting. 2 of you going in and doing it, but yeah, I don't know when it does it, because the thing is I had a bag, so I had one of the Amazon kind of reusable bags that they have, and I was just walking around, taking stuff on the shelf, putting it in the bag. That's it. That's all I was doing. So it must be. You don't have to scan it or anything. You literally just take it off the shelf, put it in your bag, and walk out. That's it. And you can use your own bag. You don't have to use their bags. It's nothing to do with a bag or anything. So if you pick it up, you buy. What if you don't have an Amazon account? You can't. So to get in, you have to use your Amazon account. So you have to. So you go on your Amazon app, you go to your basket, and there's like a code button that you can press, and it gives you a little QR code, and then you scan that. It's basically attached to your Amazon whatever credit or debit card you got on your account. And you just scan it at the thing. You scan it like you would do a boarding pass at an airport, and then it lets you in, and then you just walk around, take what you want, and walk out. It is very weird. It's a really weird experience. It feels kind of wrong when you walk out. You're half expecting someone to come chasing after you, but yeah, I mean, it's literally on my way home from the tube station. So if you have 100% Amazon shares, you can walk out any time. Right, let me start the races and quiz. There you go. Start with a Jaguar one. Okay, cool. All right, so let's take a look at what we've got. So first of all, I guess we will just run the game and take a look at the memory map and see what we're going to do. So the memory map is going to be somewhere weird because it's got all these kind of cartridge memory maps in the moment. But you can see in terms of the cartridge, there's a few things at the end of the cartridge here. And then really not a lot. There's a lot of space. I think this is mostly graphics and stuff, but then there's still about half the cartridge left to go. And I'm pretty sure most of this cartridge is being used kind of inefficiently as well. There's probably things we can do to make it more efficient. I'm not entirely sure what these things are, but there's definitely something in here that could probably be more efficient. Whatever this is here is taking the majority of the room up anyway. Supercross 3D. Oh, well done. Was that one you knew, or was because I always wonder with the Jaguar ones, it's an easy task to if you type in Jaguar bike games and get the 3 games that came out on the Jaguar. So today I sent 2 hard drives back to Amazon over the replacement drive. They're literally so 3D for did not even pack them in protection. I ordered a 4TB NVMe drive, PCIe 4 NVMe drive from them a couple of months ago, and they sent me a 2TB one, and I contacted them and said, look, I don't want a 2TB drive, I want a 4TB one. And they were like, oh, well, you can send it. So no, I was like, can I send it back to, oh no, what was it? I said, can you, I need the drive. I need a drive, but I wanted 4TB. Can you refund me the difference between a 2 and a 4TB? And they said, oh no, we can't really do that. So I said, well, I don't really want to send it back. So what are you going to do? And they said, well, I'll tell you what, we'll just cancel the order and you just keep it. So I got a 2TB NVMe PCIe 4 NVMe drive for free. I didn't have to pay for it, which is kind of cool. Yeah, awesome. So in that sense, I was quite happy. So contrary to what Nicomo says, I would say definitely buy it. Yeah, it works. It works absolutely fine. Works absolutely fine. I think it's because they checked my account. They saw that I do buy quite a bit of stuff from them. I didn't want to return it. And they had kind of shafted me a little bit. So and because they couldn't do a partial refund, they just gave it to me. Was it packed well? Yeah, it was. I mean, it was an NVMe SSD drive, so it came in like it came in kind of a nicely packed box anyway inside, I think, but not mechanical drives. No, I would never buy those from Amazon. You don't know what you're getting. Chances are it's probably not been stored very well. But yeah. Anyway, right. Let's take a look. So let's have a look at this memory. Okay, so this is the kind of the code at the moment, and you can see there's a few things in here that probably don't need to be in here. So most of this is okay. Doors is possibly something that doesn't need to be, but it's not too big, so I'm not too fussed about that. Actually, where's laser? Laser's here, you see. And you can see laser takes up a little bit. I mean, it's still you know only 1K or so. Because it runs from here to here. I don't know what all this is. This is probably some trace that's inside it. But it's something that doesn't need to be loaded in. So this is something I'm going to remove. But the bulk of what we same with Robotron as well. So the Robotron code can be moved out of here as well. In fact, let me just put let's open up the game loader, which is this one here, and just add another thing at the end of here just to say where the end of this is. Actually, I can't do it here. Can I have to do it? Can I do it in here? No. Where does this actually come from? Oh, it comes from in here, doesn't it? Okay. Okay, let's run that again. So Robotron one, again, is probably quite small, but again, it's something we don't need to load all the time. So the thing is, I think the majority of the code we do need loaded in, but there is going to be small sections here and there. I'm loading in. Oh shit, I've got all the default settings on, haven't I? Ugh, okay. Debug borders on. I want CRT emulation off. I want to save settings on exit. That'll do for now, I think. Oh, none of my joysticks are set. All right. Joystick 2 can be the arrow keys. That one, and then I have this one as there we go. Musicon as well. Okay, cool. Anyway, it doesn't matter about that right now. What I'm actually looking at is the stuff in here. So the end of the code is there. So yeah, the Robotron code is about 1K or so as well. So so there's a few things we can load on the fly here. The majority of it is going to stay though, but we'll save a couple of K by doing that. We also need to take a look at where things are loading into memory. So I'm going to do that by opening up the not just the code, but the actual assets as well. So there is somewhere, if I can get to there we go. Hopefully this loads in. Right, there we go. Right, and then okay, so there is lots of blank space around here, which is which I'll explain in a minute, is what we're going to probably use most of. This area seems to be, let's have a look. This is screen macros. I don't know why there's loads of zeros there, but there is. And then there's this area, and then somewhere around here, I think it's 7800. Yeah, it looks like 7800 is where the I can't remember what it is that loads. There's something loads in here. I can't remember exactly what it is. That's going to drive me mad. But there is something there. We've got to basically stay away from that. So 7800 to 8000 we can't really use. Now 8000 is where the screen stuff starts, I believe. So if we go and have a look at the map stuff. So the map loader loads in here. And the map loader, first of all, just has all of the code loaded in here like this. Now, what I was thinking is what we could do quite easily, and the vectors are stored at the end of memory up here. So there's a big gap from 8000 to B1000, which is, what is that? That's 12K, I think. Yeah, 12K, where all the screen data goes. But, and here's the important thing, the only reason we need these screens loaded into memory is because of persistence. That's the only reason. So if we take a look at let's take a look at screen 0. Actually, not screen 0. Let's take a look at one of the more busy screens. Here's one that's good enough. Okay, so we have some persistence data, and the persistence data is all the things that we need to persist, basically, all the stuff that needs to stay in memory at all times. So how many hits a block has taken, but also things like this as well. These are essentially persistent stuff as well. So my idea is quite simple, and I'll use this as an example. What I intend to do is to move all of this stuff, anything that's a variable that can be updated, or anything that that needs to kind of be persistent. So I think these probably need to be persistent. It doesn't really matter too much which ones are persistent and which ones aren't. But I'll put those in here like this, and then what I will do is I will finish that off there, and then I'll move this into another file. So let's do it with screen 1 first, and I'll show you what I mean. So basically, I'm going to take everything out of screen 1. Like that. And I'm going to make a new file in here. And I'm going to call this screen 1 dynamic. And what I mean by that is it's just going to load dynamically. Actually, what's it called in here? It's called screen 001. So let's make it capitalized. And let's shorten it slightly. So it will look like that. And everything else goes in it. So what this is doing now is this creating another file which we can load in on the fly. Because all of this functionality in here, we only need when we actually are in that screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new thing in here as well. So at the moment we're using persistence at +9. I'm going to switch. Oh no, we've got an init actually. Yeah, actually this would be fine. So what I would do in init in here is I would have the whatever the loader is to load that thing in. So let me just take a look at the game loader. Where is it? Here we go. Where's the loader? Where's the loader? Loader. It's not in here, is it? Where's the... Yeah, there we go. And that would just be basically that. And then this would be... And then this would be screen 001. Like so. And that would be the only change we'd need to do in here. Oh no, actually we need to do this as well. So what that's doing is that's shortening that file by just creating this small load file thing in here. And if we go and have a look at the macro for that, you'll see it's not that big. So we're actually reducing this down quite a lot. Cart loader here. Load file is literally just this. It's really not that bad at all. Compared to the code that we were loading before. So we need to look at a file, and if it's significantly bigger than this, then we just use this system. And what this will do is it will load that code into memory at the point that we define. So we have to come in here and we have to make it like one of the other pseudo code modules. But now we can load it pretty much anywhere we want to in memory. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reserve A000 onwards for this code. Let me just catch up a little bit with the chat. You're all just talking about it. I knew. Do you know Andy said this would be what you all did, and Andy's joining in with it anyway. So I do want to. If anybody has fairly decent 3D skills, it would be good to work on a case that we can make for the Nexus that would allow us to 3D print a Nexus, but also fit a keyboard, a widget, or key RAR into it, maybe with the options for either, and joystick ports and stuff like that. That would be kind of cool, because then the people who can't afford to get the full Mega 65 can still you can still have something which resembles a computer with a keyboard built in and joystick ports as well. And hopefully it can be unique and still be good, because one thing I do want to do with the stuff I do for the Mega 65 is I want to try and make it so it works on as many things as possible. Wouldn't that be about the same price? I'm not sure how much a widget board would cost. You're probably looking at about £100 to make a widget board. A keyboard you can get pretty cheap. You just need a small keyboard that works on the USB. Actually, with the widget board, you can use a proper Commodore keyboard. So I think you could technically use a Commodore 64 keyboard or a C128 keyboard or something, or the Keyra. I mean, it would be about half the price, I think, which would definitely be better than for people who can't afford the full thing. That's going to be a better option, I think. So this is printed. I think it's got a bit of color bleed from the white into the. Anyway. Hey, Tinspin. Has anyone bought the Mega 65? According to the poll, only 4 people in chat have bought it, but I know that the first 400 have sold out today, and some way into the second batch already. So, okay, let's take a quick look at some code that does load in dynamically. Not that we need a loader. Yeah, so we need something like this, basically, just to set the location for it. And we just need to wrap that around the whole thing. And the reason we need to do this is so that when we make the calls, it knows where they are. But because we've scoped it all inside this, you'll always reference it as screen 01 dynamic dot whatever. And that will basically mean, oh, actually, should this be... No, this is stars, but this can kind of be left as it is, I think. We need to check each screen as we go to make sure, but you can see like this could end up being quite a lot of code in the long run. So moving it out is going to be really helpful. And because we're doing everything, we've moved everything out except the init. And the init is still here, but it's not. It's just not loading. Oh, that needs to be A00. It means everything inside this file will still reference correctly because it's all still within this same scope. But now we don't have to worry about overflowing at all. And we still get 4K of code for each screen, and 4K should be plenty. If we need to move it down, we can move it down. There we've probably got loads of room if we do this. Because one thing that we're doing now is we're freeing up all the room from 8,000 onwards. So there's actually 8,000, 9,000. So there's actually 8K space for these files, which are quite small. You can see there's not a lot to them now. But this should, let's try this with, so this is the Zub room, but this should still just work now. We do need to add the file, so we just need to make sure we add that to the list. We can do that in our screen loader code. So if we just go, let me make a double view here. It's actually, I think if I shift double click, oh shit, no, not like that. Oh my God, what have I done? I think it's just shift click. No. All right, no, let's not do that. Let's do it like that. Wow, you can do some weird stuff just by opening things differently. All right, I'm not going to do that at all. I don't know if I've broken stuff. There we go. I just want to put my screen... Oh my God, it is behaving really weirdly. What is this second view here about? I think there's a bug in my Sublime. I think I've done something weird to it. Anton posting this picture, question edition. Oh, I've seen, yeah. I need to log in on my thing. But I've seen it before. It looks a bit like an A600, right? If I remember rightly. I mean, who knows where they'll go with this next? It could be that one thing I don't expect them to do in a hurry is change the injection mold tooling because it's expensive to do. having the existing tooling kind of refreshed is probably cheaper than getting a whole new thing built. And they can definitely do them fresh. I used to work in injection molding place, and I know that they can kind of patch them up a bit and get a bit more life out of them. So I wouldn't expect them to make a smaller one right off the bat unless it's incredibly successful and there's a lot of demand for it. But I could imagine them doing some cost cutting measures like no disk drive. I mean, it's a small cost, but no disk drive. A cheaper keyboard, for instance, like just a membrane keyboard or something. So I'm sure there's a few things they can do along the way. So who knows? Maybe there will be a kind of cost reduced version at some point. Maybe they will start making the widget boards as well, so people can use the Nexus things and do the widget boards. I mean, it doesn't look too complicated to do, but it doesn't look like it's going to be for everybody to do. There's a fair bit of soldering in there. I think there's some nasty surface mount chips that would be quite hard for some people. I think for most people, actually. Okay, so we import all the screens here, but we don't want to import. What we want to do is we want to add the file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the add file. So if we have a look at the loader, I'm hoping I can do it in the beginning here. I think we should be okay. Not that loader. I want no, not that one either. I want the main boot, I guess. This one. Yeah, these here. So this is normally where we add all the files. I'm going to try and add them in this other file in here. Whether or not it will work, I do not know. Well, no, I guess we still need to import stuff as well, so... Yeah, we still need to import things anyway. So maybe it does need to be done in here, because this is building the cart, this place. So, okay, let's do it in here. So what this is doing here, this is adding all the files to the cart. Some of these are importing other files along the way. So the maps one, for instance, is the file we were looking at over here. Let's just open it up again. Maps loader is this one here, which does import. Actually, we can import them in. Yeah, we can do it all in here, I guess. Yeah, let's do it in here. So these are actually loaded into this space here. But I think what we can do at the very end of this is we can add the dynamic screen code. And then we can go into these dynamic things. Now we do need to add a little marker at the end to say that it's complete. And the easiest way we need to do that, we'll do it with the cart symbol on the end. And the reason I put cart on the end is because this address here is different to this address here. So this address here is going to be A00 because that's what our sudo PC is at. But what we need to set the cart up is we need to know these addresses here. And these addresses are the start and end of wherever it is on the cart. So when this is loaded in, this file is loaded in, this maps file, it's here, it's put onto the cart, and that's what this is down here somewhere. That's what this bank is here. This is code. Well, is it that one? It might be that one. It might not be that one. If it is, that's quite big. In which case, this is definitely going to help. I can't be that big. Surely that's way too big. Well, anyway, it's basically an address like this, a larger address, like a 24-bit address. Actually, it's a 20-bit address. But hey, Dogster. A chat is all about Mega. Yeah, it's fully to be expected. I'm really pleased that it. I mean, I had faith in it all along. It's such a good machine. It deserves this kind of this kind of focus, and it's definitely getting that, which is really, really cool to see. Okay, so now I need to import these files. So anytime I add one of these files in, I need to basically wrap it in this this basically block of code here, which is from here and here. And then I need to update these. So this is actually going to be, I'm not going to put, so the loader will be, this is the name, and this is the start and end. So I'm going to put the start in and end like this, but then I'm going to delete the underscore cart on it here, just so the name's a little bit shorter. Actually, I think there's a limit on the name length, actually. Oh, no, it's not, because this just gets stored and it gets referenced as a number, I think, in the loader. Let me just double check that. In the cart loader, I think it's indexed instead. Load file name, not that one there. It's actually, it's this one here. So actually, it's smaller than was. Yeah, so it looks for the key in the hash table. If it finds it, then it uses that index to look it up. So it should be fine. Cool. Hey, Anton. Just talking about, well, I mean, you'll see the chat is just full of Mega 65 chat. So, yeah, it has been a crazy day. You guys must be beaming from ear to ear today. Thank you for the bits. Appreciate it. Just saying as well, I think it's well deserved as well. It's a great machine, great team, and you know, I think everybody who had worked with it had the faith that it could do this, and it seems to be really, really taking off in terms of purchases, which is really, really nice to see. Because I think the initial estimation was that this would take like maybe a couple of days at best to get through the first 400, but more than likely a week or so, just because of the speed that the dev kits went. But it just goes to show how good a job you guys have done with kind of promoting this and getting people aware of this. Because, you know, over the course of, which is about a year now, right, from the dev kits to now, the demand has kind of skyrocketed. So it's really good. It's Mega 65 a security warranty seal on it. Let's hope there's some left when they can find the other one. It's incredible. As I say, I think it's really, really well deserved. I think it's once again, I'll say it's an awesome machine, and it really deserves it. I deliberately didn't buy one. I do want one. I know I'll have two, but I kind of want the case as well, because it is a Mega 65. It is a Commodore 65 case, compatible case. And that to me is something kind of a bit unique, and I definitely want a piece of that history as well as the. Oh, did you just get a PlayStation one like that as well? Well done. I assume it was PlayStation Spyro the Dragon, yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. I just hope that we can do it justice. I think this community has learned a lot over this year, and I think just from our side on you know, the spiral cult, as somebody called it today. I think it was Tron called it that. Just from the spiral cult alone, I think we're going to see quite a few games make its way onto the machine. I'm frantically trying to get a game myself done quickly in my spare time, because it's easier for me to do it when I'm not on stream. So yeah, just going to try and get that game done as quickly as I can. And I think it should showcase the machine quite nicely. I'll once I get an actual something playable, I will do another video. It's probably only a week off or something, and I'll have something which is kind of somewhat playable. Anyway, let's carry on with this. So yeah, basically, I'm telling it to when this file gets loaded, it's gonna this map loader file gets loaded. Once it's kind of assigned this to wherever it is on the cartridge, it's going to start loading these files in from memory. It's basically going to run the add file, which is going to fill up the cartridge. There's like a what's called a FAT table, a file allocation table, and that's what this is doing. This is adding an entry to that table. The entry is called Screen 1 Dynamic. This is where it starts on the cart. This is where it ends on the cart. And so when you go to load that, what it does is it will go in here and it will take this code and it will load it into memory at this location. I think I need to add the location in as well, so I'll just do that quickly. Yeah, like that. There you go. So it will take, when you go to do load file, which we can see in here, it loads this file based on the details in the FAT table, which tells it where it is on the cart and where it needs to load to. So it knows how big it is and where it needs to load to. There's no compression at the moment. I could add compression, but I haven't yet anyway. So 666. I saw that. What was the thoughts behind the pricing as well? I'd love to have been in that meeting. I find that kind of funny that the price was 666.66. So that it was kind of, I mean, I'm sure it was deliberate. But yeah, I found it kind of funny. So screen 001 underscore dynamic.asm. And this bit here actually puts the code on the cart. So this tells us where it is on the cart because of the loads in here. Let's do the imports before it. So I could do them in pairs like this. I import it and then do that. In fact, I could even do this. That makes it nice and neat. Then it's all in one. Can I do this? Hopefully, I can do this. If I can do this, then I'm definitely doing it. I like my neat code like that. I'm not sure if that'll work though. But if that works, if this works now, then that's really cool, because then all we need to really do is import the dynamic screen code here. So what will happen is once you move into this screen, the screen code is going to load. The init function is going to call. So it's going to do all the character copying that it needs to do. Then the first thing it's going to do is it's going to call the init function. The init function is going to use the cart to load the file into memory, and then it's going to call the dynamic init code. And that can be wherever the hell it wants to be. It really doesn't matter, because this init address here will be referenced as screen01 dynamic.init, and it will have a label attached to it. So it'll have an address attached to it. All of this stuff here, the persistence data and all the other things that we need, that might be, I need to check that that's actually not being used somewhere, because if it is, we need to include that constant in here as well. All of this will just stay in memory where it is now. So hopefully we'll be able to look at this area down here. I'm going to write those numbers down, 43539, because I want to see where that actually ends up. Ah, okay, the C65 and the Apple one was sold for exact. That's really cool. That's really cool. I mean, it's been pre-ordered. I think there's definitely more than 400. I know the first batch is sold out. As for where it is, 430. It could be around 700 machines by tomorrow morning. Wow. Wow. That's kind of insane. And of course, like, you know, there's people that are going to find out about this late, as you know, as people start talking about it and start, you know, posting that they've ordered it, then people are going to be like, oh, I want one of them as well. And it is going to go. I mean, obviously the first day is always going to be the most. It's always the case with pre-orders, but let's see if I can find this char star count. Okay, so char star count is in here as well. That means I just need to add a constant here so that I can use it. The other option I could do actually is I could use label char star count like that, and then I can use screen 001. Stop char star. There we go. So because it's a constant, it doesn't really matter It's not persistent data, but it is a constant that's used in both halves of the file. So just need to make sure that it's accessible. Oh, okay, that was already kind of set up. There we go. There we go. Okay, so this should work now. So if we try this out, it shouldn't be any different to what it was before, except now the memory map is going to be a little bit different. Let me get rid of the old one. Okay, there is a failure here. It's failing to load screen 001 underscore dynamic. Okay, why though? It's definitely there. Is it from the location? Maybe it's from the maybe it's relative to the file that I'm in at the moment. So loader is here. So that would be because it should be in screens. There we go. That's why. And we don't have to do this to every screen, but obviously the more screens we do it to, the more space we're going to save. Okay, so anytime we reference stuff in the old one, we need to put screen 001 in front of it. So we do need to go through doing this a little bit to some of these, because we need to reference these values in here. Although again, I think these don't really matter. I don't think these need to be persistent. So actually, I am going to just copy everything into here, because I don't think any of that needs to be persistent. This is just Zub for that screen, and the position of Zub is kind of irrelevant. Doesn't really matter. And this char star count is kind of updated on the fly anyway. So let's just go back through this, deleting the work we've done already. So it's going to be a little bit slow to do this on every screen, but we've not done that many screens now. And it just means that going forward we can build these screens more dynamically and not have to worry too much about code space, which also means we'll free up lots of. I need to fix that setting, don't I? Hang on. Settings. Save settings on exit. Do not confirm on exit. Close. There we go. We're able to reproduce within 3 months batches of 1,000. Wow, that's pretty good. There's some people complaining there wasn't enough advertisement. I mean, this is the thing. I mean, you can only advertise so much, right? You have to. It's all needs to be budgeted for. Advertising isn't free, and there's been plenty of chatter on the Commodore channels, and you know, if you're invested enough in the Commodore scene, then you probably know about the Mega 65. So, I mean, what more can you do? So, there's demand segments that go, yeah. Hey, Paul. Again, congratulations to you as well. Really, really cool. The Mega 65 season, yeah. Oh man, I hope that's not the case. That would be really unfortunate. Okay, let's try this now. But yeah, congrats to everybody at the Mega 65 team. Awesome. Wait, why is that not loading there? What's wrong there? Awesome achievement. Open a similar screen. Wait, but that isn't in here, so I don't know where it's getting that from. Yeah, let's find out where that is. Oh, okay. It's because that was actually sub-index indices. I started typing, that's why. My bad. Hey, take care, Paul. Safe journey. I think you're probably going to start getting a million questions soon about various things. Okay, so one thing we do need to do is we need to load our table. Well, okay, so this isn't going to work exactly as I thought. This needs to happen before this happens here, and the maps itself needs to. Okay, so we need to import all of these before the rest of the map load of stuff. I think that's kind of what it's getting at here, because it's got a load file which would be in one of these. So yeah, these, I mean, it's easy enough. All we need to do is move these up to here in that case. Let me try that. That should hopefully work now. Looks good. We're loading. Cool. Right. So, oh God, it's not saved any of my settings either, has it? It's not saved my display settings, that's all. Right. Oh, my joystick settings either. God damn you. So one of the cool things I'm trying to do for the Mega 65 game I'm doing is create stuff that you wouldn't see on, hopefully you wouldn't see on either the well, you definitely wouldn't see it on the C64, but also stuff you wouldn't see on the Amiga. I want it to feel more like something you would see on the PC. 1 second. I need to take a break in a minute. So things like animations and stuff. Still no package received yet. Oh, from oh yeah, the Razer Kishi. Oh, it went out. Let me oh, I've got no tracking. How about that's the problem? I don't think I've got any tracking. But then this is Norway. I expect it to arrive eventually. Just with a bit of time. Yeah, what's mine on? Mine's 210. Yeah, 210 is my debit. So it's quite a low one actually. So when did I send it again? It would have been last Thursday, so about a week ago. So it probably is about right actually. Or was it Tuesday? I can't remember. But yeah, a week or 9 days or something like that. He'll get there. It's really good as well. I've been playing with the Kishi quite a bit actually. I've been doing PS5 streaming and Steam Link streaming on it. It's really really good. I've been playing the new Grid game on Steam, and it works really well for. Oh, I've not got any collision on here. Collision is the next big thing we need to turn on, by the way. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, right. So there's something not quite right here, but it's tried to do something. So let's take a look. Okay, so one thing we're doing here is we jump to subroutine. This should just be a jump, so that because we init and then we jump into the actual init function. That should be fine. Okay, I think that's everything right there. Let's try again. 10 days should do it. Yeah, I'm not sure what the usual kind of I don't know what the usual delivery times are. Norway does seem to be a little bit longer than most, though. I think. Well, I mean, to be fair, Dr. Vulcan was in the UK, so he got his pretty quickly. Okay, still something not quite right. Let's take a look at what this could be. Okay, so the file is being loaded into A00. So let's do some little checks in here, make sure everything's working correctly. So we'd expect the code to get to here. So let's, if it gets to here, then we're good. We know that the init's working. If we look at this, there is a little bit of a difference in the target now, but this is because it's split up a little bit now. I don't know what it's actually doing here. I'm not fully aware of exactly what's going on here. This is obviously graphics, this piece here, but I'm not sure what this is doing here. I guess we'll find out. Just forgot which one I loaded now. We'll get this working. Should be pretty easy. I remember if I can start them flashing, then I'm in range. I need to move away. Also, I need to set the colors. Those colors are awful. God. It's better. Red actually looks like red, not orange. Okay, so we're hitting that point, which is good. That means that this is running. So now let's check that we're getting out of the init function at the end. Maybe it's not exiting properly for whatever reason. It's got 3 updates for some reason. I'm not sure what that's about. I think this because we need we need to initially clear. I think that's what it is. Let's also set the first screen to be something different. So let's set it to be 21, 11, sorry, which should leave us right underneath the. Hang on, is that the right? Yeah, 11 is the right screen. Okay, let me find player. It's not here. Where is this? Oh, it's in the game loop, isn't it? That's right. Okay, right. I'm going to take a quick break, guys. I'm going to be 2 minutes. When I come back, we'll carry on doing this. I think this is going to work. It's just a bit of kind of faffing around to get it exactly right and figure out where it's failing. But I'll leave you guys to your Mega 65 chat for 5 minutes. I'll be right back. And I'm back. Just as Airwolf comes on, somebody's requested that, obviously. Stop the break. There we go. Get one more quiz. So I don't know if Skazlin is in the chat, but just to let you know, I am in the process of printing the case for your Nexus. Just having a few issues. It's the first time I've used the PETG translucent filament, so it's not that translucent either. I mean, I guess it is more translucent than normal, but it doesn't seem to. It's not like glass or anything. But we'll see how it goes. It has to print really slowly, otherwise it goes really stringy and doesn't looks a mess. So. It's the only way I can stop you from it's funny. Just catching up on the chat a little bit in the Mega 65 banter room. So I think the JTAG adapters will be there. I think 3D printing YouTube channel. I haven't uploaded anything for a while because I've been trying to get this PETG stuff to work. But I'm going to do another upload at some point. I'm going to print some stuff in this PETG and do a film of that. But I haven't done anything for 2 weeks. Once I print something else, I will film it and, of course, upload it so you guys can keep up with that as well. Yeah, if you haven't already followed me on that channel, please do so. I think that's the thing for it. And I will, whenever I do something that I haven't printed before, I will upload it. I'm not filming this print because it's experimental at the moment, and it's just another Meg 65 case. But I will print some other stuff at some point. All right, let's see, where were we? Okay, so we're going to do this increment at the end now, just to see if that actually helps us load, if the init's running. I think the init running is, it probably is running. But hopefully now we'll start in a better place as well. Start in the wall, but it's fine. Oh, actually, I need to start on this screen, don't I? Because otherwise I've got to go back and in so that I can, because it doesn't activate the areas unless you actually enter the screen. Okay, so it is hitting that as well. Thank you for the 5 gift subs, Doxter, to Green Mage, XDX, Zytex, that's kind of hard to say, J3Z, Mr. Cola, and Wardrobe UK. Thank you very much. And hi to Lurking Cola as well. Gift subs are always a fun way to find the lurkers. Cheers. Oh, that is tasty. I can make some. It's good stuff. Okay, so we're hitting that in it. Okay, so the question is, are we hitting the updates? I think that's probably the issues. We're not hitting the updates. So let's go and have a look. So there's an update. Where is the update? Here. So let's see if we hit that. And then if that is fine, then all we need to do is we need to look and see what the hell is going on in. It's jamming somewhere. We need to figure out where. So. Still haven't managed to fix the joke API either, unfortunately. 12 whiskers on each side of its face. I guess that's, yeah, because it has the eyebrow ones as well. So. Owners have several more. Okay, so it's hitting the update all right as well. Oh, that was a strange. Okay, so that looks to be all right. Let's put the update there. So we're just kind of going to keep moving this around until we find the right place. And also, while I'm at it, I'm going to just move the screen back one as well, so I don't have to keep doing this. Move off the screen and back. Just immediately kind of move to the right screen. The next competition will be announced on Saturday as well. It is going to be the Sim, so that's working all right as well. So I'm not sure what's going on here. Let's get rid of that and just try it again. Maybe I was just doing something wrong. Yeah, you failed. Yeah, I'll announce the music competition on Saturday. I think you guys will like it. It's going to be. I'm going to move it over to the side of the screen as well. So it kind of does one and then fails for some reason. Okay, so another way we could do this, though, is just jumping. So if we did this instead, see what happens here if we do that. So let's do. I can't see this being any different, to be honest, because it's just going to jump. No, it's not going to be any different. It's just going to jump to the same place. So maybe it's not the update then. What would be different here? Could it be that our code's been overwritten by something? Maybe the code isn't loading properly. Have I still got this open? Let's go and have a quick look around the 8,000 mark. So No, I mean, there's nothing there. There's a little bit of code or a little bit of something towards the end of there, but I don't think it's anything to do with screen loading. Let me just try moving the load address. Let's see if just moving the load address fixes it. So let's move it to 9,000. 9,000 on here. I think this is fine. I don't think this needs to be. It seems to be working as long as you've got it ahead of the stuff, and as long as in the loader it's imported up here, should be all right. Hey, Mr. Cola. Yeah, it's good to see you, and I'm doing well. Thank you very much. Lurkers will be exposed. Yeah, is Cecconoid going to be a cart? No, yeah, it is going to be a cart. It's using lots and lots of cart trickery to do the stuff like the dynamic character sets use the cart to do it. Really wouldn't be able to do the kind of the map scrolling the way we do it without the cart. It's kind of, well, you could do it, but it'd be a lot harder, I think. Something is locking up. All right, let's have a look at where it's actually getting stuck. So it's getting stuck down here, 3083. What's that about? Is it always there? Yeah, okay. So that is, according to this, just the game loop. Okay, so let's have a look. Where's our main loop? Okay, this is a normal frame. So map tables update, which is this bit here. So owed map tables. Let's have a look. So this is map tables and this is update. This value should be filled in by the map loader, which is this one here. I would not expect that to change, but let's just take a look. No, this shouldn't, because this is all. Because we're actually getting into the update function. That is actually happening. And it's doing a jump to subroutines, coming in here. It's going to jump to the update code, which is here, which is this thing here. This is then jumping into here, which we've seen is working. This piece here. If I just do RTS on here, does that fix it? Is it something to do with that function, maybe? Just trying to make sure I'm not breaking anything else as I go along. Okay, so I like how you guys are finding millions of Airwolf tunes now. What brings it back after init jump to run the next part? So after, well, it gets into the update routine fine. We've proven it gets into here, but all of these jumps basically is just part of this. So it's a subroutine being called, which calls where's it gone again? Calls this here map tables.update, which is self-modified code, which is set by the map loader. So if I look for update in here, you see here it's setting that update in here. It could be that for some reason it's running too late. Maybe the init code is the wrong place to load it in. Maybe this is the wrong place to load it in which case we can change some stuff in here a little bit. Let me have a think about this. It could just be where this is loading in is the wrong place. Let's actually just, without doing that there, let me just put that at the top here. So it's automatically going to load into that area. Let me go and change the memory address back for this. It could just be that it's not loading quick enough. There's something else going on that's stopping it loading at the right time. We might need like a preload thing, which is fine. If Backbit can run Gmod or Easy Flash images, then yes, it would run from a Backbit. Yeah, that's exactly the reason I do that at Confin, just so because it's easy to find them and easy to recognize them in code as well. I could look at that straight away and tell it was a self-mod piece of code. So that's one of the reasons I do it. And there's nothing stopping you using that for an 8-bit value as well. It just will ignore the BE. Okay, so there's no... It's getting stuck though, isn't it? Hang on, let me get... Wait. Put an RTS in there. Let me get rid of that RTS again. I'm going to turn this off and I'm going to open it up again in there in a second. Let's see what happens. You can just go, where's the B? Oh my god. Oh, please bring back Shimmerbot. Please bring back Shimmerbot. Okay. Yeah, it's getting well and truly stuck there. So that's no good there. Let me try loading this in the game loader, maybe. It's not the that's the map loader, isn't it? I don't want that one. That's this one here. Got the same thing here. You find the game loader. Here we go. Maybe it is Game Loop actually. Oh yeah, Game Loop. All right, let me just load one screen. I just want to see if I load the screen ahead of time, does it work? Because it shouldn't have made any difference me moving it. It's a little bit odd that it has for some reason broken. Wait, that was the wrong file, wasn't it? Hang on. No, that's adding the file. Adding the file is fine. It's the loading file that's different. Okay. I know we are loading the file there. Okay. Oh my god, what am I doing? Should be right. Okay, so at this point, it's trying to load. Okay, let's try it. Let's just add them this way then. If it wants to be like that, it can be like that. We'll just add them in here. Once I figure this out, it should be nice and easy. It's just right now it's being a pain in the ass. File already present. Okay, because I didn't save that one. Because the other thing with this is that the music takes up quite a lot of room as well. Because it's a really long, quite full featured track, and SID tracker is quite heavy on the memory usage and also on the RAS usage, which is a bit annoying. But as I've said, I don't really want to get Jason to make a new version. I think what he's done is really good. So, okay, so that works. So it needs loading before the screen loads in. So, okay, that's pretty easy to do. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to put the... Wait, that was just the add file, wasn't it? Let me keep the add file here. Wait, no, that doesn't make any sense. Why... Why would it work there but not there? That doesn't make any sense. Because we're still doing the same... Oh, no, we're not doing the same, though. We're doing the load... Right, let's try this. We're doing the load in the game loop now. It's failing now. Oh, it's failing now because now that load is in a different place. All right. What I'm going to try is I'm going to try moving the load from here to just in map loader. So for now, I'm just going to force it to load. So there is like a, yeah, there's an init screen. No, not that one. Listen, I thought you added an RTS. No, I removed that. That's why it's working now. But what I'm trying to do now is just work out when it creates all the self-modded jump tables, all these bits here, basically. One of the things it does, I thought it did the init in here, but it looks like it doesn't. So I'm just wondering if I do it here. It's going to load every time, but if it works here, then I can build the rest quite easily in an automated way. So, oh, I love this tune. No, this is a good tune. This was the loading tune for Dominator, and it's absolutely amazing. So it's Matt Gray, this, I think, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, it's not going to load there either because it needs to be loaded. All right, let me just move this. It's fine if we have to load these all here. That's fine. Just have to sort it out a little bit, but nope. File name already present in the table because I didn't save. You heard that Matt Gray was one of the writers of the song, I believe. Oh, I think, I'm not sure if I believe that. Maybe he is, though. I don't know. Okay, so yeah, it definitely has problems trying to load that in at that point, but that could be because we're doing other things here that maybe we shouldn't be doing. All right. This is a tricky one. This is a tricky one indeed. Okay, so where's next screen? Okay, so this is where the screen loads in. We do all this stuff. We do load map. Where's load map? That's going to be this thing here, isn't it? This huge thing which has got all the weird IRQ switching. Advanced font pointer, and then it does all of this, and then it does persistence move. Right, let's do it there like that. Wow, impressive. Is it the Matthew Gray though? I mean, do we know for sure that it's the same Matt Gray? I'd assume that the name Matthew and the name Gray are quite common, but that's really cool if it is. I mean, surely that's left him quite quite well off, I would imagine. Yeah, that's kind of cool. It's very cool. Got a Novello award for it. Very, very cool. I mean, he wrote tunes like this, so I'm not surprised at all. Okay. So this only works if I load it outside of this. This is really, really awkward. I was kind of hoping that I could do it in here somewhere in this init screen thing. But it seems like I can't do it in here. Like, what is this? Routine self mod. Okay, so that is. Oh, this is our init here, actually. It looks like. I think this is our init here. Let me try there. I mean, I'm just trying all sorts now just to see if this works. Oh man, that sucks. Oh, wait, that's completely misreading it. Oh man, what is this doing? Okay, let me have a think. So loading that file will cause the actually no, it should load fine. This is what I don't understand. It should load fine in here. And it kind of does, and then fails. Let me try something. Let me try that out of interest. I'll have to check the music. It's not going to screw up in this case, but no, there's no. I removed that. Show you. It's gone now. Let's close all these windows. Start again. All right. Yeah, no worries. It's such a small thing. This it really is. It shouldn't be this difficult. But then it wouldn't be one of these streams if it was easy all the time. So a bit faster. I don't think going for that speed up though makes much difference in the time that we arrive. Now it works. Okay. So what have I done differently? I've just loaded it in a different place here. I've added them here instead of in here. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. It just means we need to. I'm going to make this all on one line, so because it's going to get messy otherwise. I don't like the fact it's so long, but it shouldn't be too difficult to. Actually, maybe I can split it into. Ah, that's fine. All right. Okay, very weird. Could it be this though? Is it that that's doing it? Let's get rid of that. And if this is the case, it might be a problem for the music. So I might need to do a little bit of work around getting the music to play properly between screens. Because disabling the interrupts is not going to be great. But it could just be that we can figure out what it is in the interrupts that is stopping it from loading. Yeah, it is. Okay. All right. In that case, let's keep that in there. Let's go and have a look at the interrupt file and see if we can figure out what would be causing a problem here. So here's our IRQ. So the reason why it's important is because we always need either the kernel interrupt running or the non-kernel interrupt running. One of them's always got to be running to keep the music going. Now there is a music only IRQ which we could force if the map is still loading for some reason. So we could check that. But we have got things like multiplexer. Yeah, it could be some of this. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into here. Let's put the word force in here. Basically, I'm going to force this routine to run if a certain condition is met at this point here. And that condition is going to be whether or not the screen has completed, whether the init is completed. So let's go and have a look at the map loader. So the map loader does this. And then at that point, the map is loading. But the way that works is in here in the game. Oh, actually, it's init screen. Yeah, so we're looking for init screen. Probably going to be in here, isn't it? Scroll up. Okay, so there is a scroll that happens, and then the init happens. And this scroll is this piece here. So that's going to happen at the end of every scroll. When the scroll's finished, it's going to come into here. So what we can do is have a flag somewhere. There must be a flag that says whether or not we're scrolling. Which I think is this one here. Yes, it is. No, it's not. It's this one here. Okay. So what we'll do in here, if that is plus. So we're checking to see that the map is still scrolling. If the map is still scrolling, then we're not going to run the normal IRQ. We're going to jump to the music only IRQ. I don't know how that's going to affect things. It might screw things up massively, but we'll see. You might need to just set a flag that just, as soon as the map is loaded, there's like a flag that's set for 1 frame. Because ideally we don't want to stop the intro, because if it skips even just 1 frame, the music's going to sound like it jumps, and I'm trying to avoid that. Yeah, see, it's failing there. Okay, so that's not good. It's only 4, so we jump to here. That would restore state. Ah, there is. Oh no, there's a push there. Okay, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to do a little check on the music. That's what I'm going to do, I think. It shouldn't be too bad because we're not loading an awful lot, so it won't always miss as well. It will only miss sometimes if it intersects. So yeah, okay. It's basically we need to avoid doing this while we're loading. Is there something else we can check? I don't like it missing all of this all the time. Oh wait, set frame ready flag. All right, no, it's not. That's just the frame ready to run. Let's have a look what else is in here. There isn't really anything else that gets set. I mean, player spawn positions, but they're based on the that's based on the position when you come into the screen, like where you actually, where the player ends up. So the minute it comes here, this sets the frame ready flag to 0. Okay, so there isn't an actual flag that does this, so maybe we can set a flag that does that. So what we'll do is we'll create where's the best place to do this? I guess the best place would be in here somewhere. So in the init screen. Because this is the call that's calling the actual init. Okay, if I do this, so if I do let's say it doesn't matter, it's a screen initialization. I'm going to do it with hard-coded values. And then if I put this up here somewhere, so I have Okay, so now we have a flag when the screen init code is being run. So if we use that in the IRQ in here, maybe we can. So if that's not equal to 0, in other words, the screen is initialized, and then we're going to jump to here and just run this code instead. We've already stored the state, so we don't need to do this again here. And is that the proper entry point for the IRQ? Multiplexer entry, yes. Is it going to kernel? Is there another split, or does it set net split? This could be several places where it does this. Multiplexer set net split. It's not that straightforward, is it really? Because we need to make sure that if we fire any IRQ whatsoever, including the one in the multiplexer, that we actually don't do anything. And it's probably the multiplexer that's causing the issues, actually. So the multiplexer IRQ is this one in here. Where is it? This one here. Hold plexer flag. What is that? Oh, it could be as simple as setting that. Let's find out what that's about. I kind of remember doing that. Okay. Let's try setting that to 1. Let's see what happens if I do that. Because maybe that's enough. That seems to be like what that's being used for. So let's just comment that out for a second. We might not need that. It's a problem when you're balancing all these various bits, especially when you've got multiplexers on and IRQs firing. You need to make sure that you don't kind of screw up the IRQ chain, because that's probably why it's crashing. It's screwing up the IRQ chain, I imagine, somewhere. Hold plexer flag. So we shouldn't need to clear it. It should be automatically cleared. But if it is the multiplexer that's causing the problem, that might actually solve the issues here. But actually, this is only going to hold it for 1 frame. It's not going to keep on holding it. In fact, we've got a fail here. I don't think this is going to be enough. I think we are going to need the screen initializing thing. But if it is holding it for 1 frame, if we are we might need to use a combination of the two. We shall see anyway. See what happens when I move. Okay, that didn't fail. That's good. Pretty sure it's the multiplexer. And I'm wrong. Okay. But again, the multiplexer could be doing more than one thing here. So probably don't need it in this one. Multiplexer sort is fine. Actually, no, probably. Hang on, let's do it like this. So we don't need to do anything crazy. We just need to run the music, right? And then when we've run the music, we can we jump to that, right? And then in here, let's go and set that back again. Okay, and then in the multiplexer, this is setting up the next sprite IRQ. Sprite IRQ is here. That should set us back to the beginning again. All right. Didn't save that file, did I? What did I do? Anyway. Those backgrounds are taking some time. Are they being discovered or yeah, they're being redeemed, aren't they? All right, here we go. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Oh, I could say to pee again. And my bladder's screwed. Oh, you son of a bitch. All right. So what is going on here? It feels like it is getting stuck in an IRQ. See, why would it be getting stuck in an IRQ? So it would get into it needs to be in here to set the frame flag in this one. And I think that's the problem. That's not being set every frame, so there isn't updating anything else, and that means that none of the rest of the code is running. So the game loop is still running through. Sorry, no, it's getting stuck here basically. In fact, we can test that out by doing this here. So if that still runs, then we know that it's just stuck in an IRQ. It's never getting out of the multiplexer IRQ for whatever reason. Which is kind of, I think that's probably what it's going to be. So if we see the border colors change now, so it's nice that print. It's just a shame that the white has bled into it a little bit. Like it's, I should have printed it with a water. Ah, no, the border isn't changing color. Ah. Okay, so where's it getting stuck then? Where is it getting stuck? Okay, let's see if it's actually getting into here then. It's definitely to do. I don't want to use the set interrupt if I can help it. Yeah, debugger may help a little bit. We go, well, actually, yeah. Let's see if this works. If this works, then if we see the border flashing, so it's going to flash all the time, but we need to make sure that it still flashes when we enter that other screen. So apologies for the flashing lights. Anybody who reacts to those. Okay, so it's failing there, so it's not getting into that one. I just want to find out where it is failing, and then we can go into the debugger. So it would imply that maybe what's happening is we're getting into the multiplexer side. Why have I got a semicolon after it? Oh, wait, is that being called? Is it being called direct anywhere? It's only if the sprites are close together, which actually they might be at some point. So we'll try this, and then we'll try here as well. Actually, let's put that there. So if we see the border change to yellow, all right, that should be enough. Oh man, this is fun. Hey, Microman, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Okay, so problem is now is I can't tell if that's because it's just going to set the border and then not change. Is it? So let's do that. It definitely didn't do the other side though, so it might be just jumping into this section here. In which case, I just need to move the check down a little bit. Okay, my eyes. So now we're splitting on the first multiplexer. You can see the way the multiplexer splits are happening now. No, see, it stops immediately when we get in there. Okay. All right, I think we're just going to have to suck it up and do the thing I didn't want to do, which is use the set interrupt disabled flag. It's really not what I wanted to do at all, but let's get rid of all of the bits that we don't need. And we'll just try and figure out if that's going to affect the music. I'm going to play the music me. You guys aren't going to hear it, but so unfortunately the overlay is going to get in the way a little bit. But I forgot where it was now. It's around here somewhere, wasn't it? Yeah, it's okay. Then screen here. It shouldn't be that bad. It shouldn't be a lot of interruption in the music at all. Right, I am going to pause the music a second, so just give me a sec. Pause it. Just makes it easier for me to hear this. A little bit of flickering in the background as well. I don't like that. Need to solve that. It's to do with the way the screen is drawn to make it sure it starts blank. That's something to fix, but I'm not hearing any slowdowns. That's good. Okay, we'll go with that. Turn the music back off. I don't hear any slowdown whatsoever. Not a single blip in it. So perfectly happy to accept that. That's fine. It's a bit annoying that I have to wrap it in that every time, but if that's the case, then that's the case. It's going to be more likely to jump if there's a lot of code to load, but it shouldn't be too bad. And what we can do now as well is we can import things like laser and stuff into a different place if we want. But for now, I won't bother too much because I think we've got plenty of room to do everything now. We just do this. I think I'm going to have a quick look at how that screen loads in properly, and if we can get rid of that flicker on that screen, because that would be good to get rid of. See, can I load straight into that screen? What happens if I load straight into that? Let's try. Bit annoying that I can't do it the proper way. It feels a bit hacky to do it this way, but it's not. It doesn't break. That's the thing. The music seems to run perfectly fine. So. Okay. Oh, I can't move on this screen. That's the problem. But if I move down to here, so if I move the position, so I do need the player file open on here. Tell you what I've been watching. I started watching last night, Squid Game. I don't know if anybody's been watching that on Netflix. That stuff is dodgy, scary stuff. Watch the first 2 episodes. It's horrific. It's dubbed. Yeah, it's not bad though. It's okay. I mean, 10 minutes in, you forget that it's dubbed. Really, it's it's if you like your kind of weird horror, then it's really good. Yeah, I'm gonna watch another episode tonight before I go to sleep, which is probably a bad idea. I'll probably have nightmares, but the first episode was somewhat horrific. A film called The Platform. No, I've not seen that actually. All right, just let me figure out where I need to move this. So it's 6E. So if I move it like another, it's like 10 or so characters down to 80, so it's 50. So that would be BE. I'll have to check that out. Squid Game is very good though. Definitely recommend it if you like that kind of. It's not too horror. It's well, I mean, I've only seen the first 2 episodes, but it doesn't seem too bad right now. It's just the concept is kind of quite horrific, but it's just very. There's a lot of death in it, put it that way. A lot. Okay, so we need to get rid of that flash. All right. But now you see, now we're loading code in dynamically. We can go in here and we can set all this, ahead of time instead. Do it in here. Now, I think this is actually pulled in from a charpad file. So let me just open the charpad and let me have a quick look. Might just be a small update in the charpad file. I don't remember which one of these is, whichever the most recent one is, which could be either of these two. Let's go with that one. Okay, so the background doesn't seem to have anything there, so maybe it's plotting the stars before it's actually set the characters properly. Actually, it shouldn't be. Let's have another look again. Is it when I first go in, or is it when I leave? Flash, yeah, you'll see when I load it up. Because the characters are dynamic, it's filling some of the characters. It's probably to do with position of the IRQ when it gets to that. Yeah, I think that's what it is, because you'll notice it changes in height. Those characters should be blank at that point, and they're not, which means there's a little bit of time where it's filling up, I think. So let's just have a quick look. So this is our initialization. Reserve char space in the front set, record char numbers. Okay, so this is reserving char numbers. Char star count is there, so we've got 10 characters. It probably needs filling, because at the moment it's reserving it, but then it's not clearing them straight away. So I think this needs to happen before. Let's do this. Yeah, I guess. I think that's all it needs to be. I think it's just the order that things are happening on that screen. Because it's actually drawing them to the screen and then it's clearing them, but it might have drawn them to the screen while the raster's taking its time to get past it. So I think this should fix it. We're just clearing them ahead of time now, so we don't draw them until they've been cleared. Yeah, I think that's fixed it. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's perfect. You can see there's a split second where there's no stars, but that's fine. Okay, cool. We're making progress now. Good. All right, let's have a look at some of these other screens then. So that's screen one. Let's see if we can do another screen, make it dynamic. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this block. We're going to go and have a look at some of these screens now. So screen 0 is blank, so we don't need to do anything to that. Screen 3 really doesn't have much in it at all. I'm not even sure what screen 3 is. It's this one here. I mean, it's got some persistence in it, but you can see there's nothing really dynamic in this screen. So it actually doesn't need much beyond what's here. The persistence has to stay anyway. These may as well just stay where they are. There's not a lot to add here. 10. Okay, this has got a little bit. It's not huge, but there are some of these macros, and these macros do take a bit up. So let's move this. Okay, so again, none of this needs to persist, but this does need to persist. So we're going to move everything out of here, except for init, which we're going to put here, because we're replacing the init with. Actually, we'll just paste that code there. I'll come back to that in a second. So this is screen 10. This is the start screen. And what we basically need to do is duplicate what we're doing in screen 1 in here, which is like this. But screen 10. So, see, I feel like this could be a bit more reusable, but I mean, this is more than this code takes up. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 5 bytes plus whatever load file is, and I think load file is. It's not that one, is it? It's the cart one. This is the cart one. Load file is, so we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15. So if this is more than 15 bytes, then it's more efficient to do it like that. And this is definitely more than 15 bytes with all these macros. Okay, so then this becomes a different file that we need to put in somewhere. So this would be screen 10. This would be so, and then this would be at the end here. Thank you for the follow, Heavenliner74. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. It's taken me just over 2 hours. Well, actually, I was chatting for a little bit, so just under 2 hours to finally hit my stride with this thing after a little bit of debugging. Always the case when you're using code once a week for a few hours and doing lots of stuff in between. Have to catch up. So clear them, draw them in the first state so it's not black. The problem with that, hang on, let me think about that. The way that the stars are drawn means that they would have to be cleared anyway, because the characters that they're being drawn to have stuff in them. That was the problem, was that you could see what was in the characters, because it's dynamically loaded in the font. The position where those stars appear in the font changes every time. And once you've loaded a couple of screens, the font's completely full of stuff. Some of it's active for the screen that you're on, and some of it is inactive for the screen you were on. And so what the star system does is it picks however many characters. I think it's 10. It said it picks 10 characters that are at the beginning of the inactive area of the font. So what that means is if you don't clear those characters straight away, as soon as you try and draw them to the screen, you're going to get the jump. The problem is drawing. If you want to draw the stars, you still have to clear them first anyway, because the way the stars work is they're just points that are scrolled through so you have a strip of 10 characters, and then you have some dots that live in there, and they all move at slightly different speeds. And so what you see is that kind of trail as they move through, but it does mean you need to clear them all. So unfortunately, no. But or at least not in an easy way. It wouldn't be able to scroll with them in. It would have to stay. It would have to stay black for a split second. But it's not. It's not. Oh no! It did it again then. Or is this? Oh, this might be an old version. I'll check again in a minute. It's not bad though. I don't mind if it's something like a star effect. And to be honest, that star effect is in probably 3 places in the entire game. One of them is this, which is a fancy area, and the other areas are much tinier portions. So it's not a huge effect. There are compromises we need to make, and I think that's going to be one of them, unfortunately. The only other way you could do it is you could have a special case in the map loader where it said, okay, on these particular screens that have stars, before you even begin to scroll. Oh no, because then, see, the problem is because you're scrolling between 2 screens, you would have to reserve 10 characters that neither screen could use, so that as you scroll between them, you could fill them with stars, so that the stars would scroll on. Or you'd have to bake them into the screen itself. Which again is going to be problematic. So I think it's fine as it is. I don't see a massive problem. It's not game breaking, and it's not going to be anything that's going to be hugely missed, I don't think. That file's this one, the new file. There we go. So we put all that in there. Screen 10 dynamic. Okay, cool. So that's loaded in there. And I can't remember where these load in at all now. Screen 1. So that's where the file is added. Where's it actually loaded in? Is it in the map loader? Not the map loader, in loader. There we go. There we go. Right. Cool. So now we've got two cars, things loaded in there. Oh. Kelso is on 7 million. Wow. Torn as to whether that this might finish before the this print might finish before the stream's over, so I can show you the progress with it. So what this is very nicely doing is it's removing the end of map code, which actually doesn't show on here. So maybe I should put a marker in for that so we can actually. Oh, does it show here? No, it doesn't. Oh, there we go. Map tables. Okay, but that shows everything. So actually, what I'm going to do is get rid of some of this crap that we don't need anymore. Just keep the screens open that we need. Cart load and don't need that. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put right here. I'm not sure I can do this actually. I think that should work. Let's just try it. Seems to have compiled anyway, or assembled. I would argue this is almost compiling now. So you can see those screens were taking up without the kind of changes that we'd done here. Oh, sorry, with the changes we've done here. If I just put them in here for a second, it's probably not going to compile properly now. Assemble properly, whatever. Can't nest. Okay. It's fine. I just wanted to see, but yeah, I mean, those screens as they stand already are taking up quite a bit. So being able to move them out like this is kind of nice. Shimmer coins. Do you want to repair? Do you want to build a retro computer? Huh? I'm not sure what you're pointing at there. Build, yeah, building, whatever, building, assembling, compiling. Building, yeah. I can't help it. I say compile all the time. It's just kind of habit, I guess. When you compile all the time, you kind of get used to saying that. So yeah, I'll try and remember to use build. I think build's the best word here. Okay, that seems to work. That's good. I actually don't trust that now. I feel like so yeah, the dynamic stuff on a screen disappears when you move off, so like the sprite. So it's kind of consistent with the rest of the game. So you'll see with the laser here, the laser should disappear when I move off, and the doors disappear. So actually, that is kind of that kind of blank is nothing really compared to the rest. It's just consistent with the rest of the screen. Actually, if anything, we might see an issue as it moves down. It probably does need to be cleared to move down. I'm not seeing an issue. Actually, I see more of an issue with the laser appearing over here when we first come in the screen. Okay, cool. Let's move on. Let's see if we can reduce it even more. So currently, our build output, there we go, says that our code is at 8649. So I'm just gonna put this in here so we can see how it improves as we go along. So this is running from 8000 to 8649, and that doesn't include any of these vectors because these are at the end. Just includes the screen code. So let's try finding another one that we can change. Screen 11. Okay, yeah, screen 11's got quite a lot in it, hasn't it? So let's definitely move that one. Screen 11 is the... Let's see, what is screen 11? Screen 11 is... Oh, I think that's the... Yeah, it's the one with the door, isn't it? It's the I thought it was the Robotron screen, but it's not. Oh, this is the one with the swarm, isn't it? I think maybe. No. Wait, hang on. You can have a look, right? Tells me in the top corner what we're on. So this is one. Oh no, this is 11. It's the laser screen. Okay. Yeah, so this is definitely one we can move over. Now, technically, we could move the laser, but I'm not going to do that just yet. But if we do need to, we have the ability to do that later. What this is doing, however, is it's freeing up loads of room above this area here. This should shrink quite a lot, and we should manage to get all the screens easily into 2 kilobytes by keep doing this method. Some of this stuff is persistent. So, for instance, the switch index is going to be persistent. Yeah, most of this is going to be persistent, I think. But what we can do, actually, switch frame and switch index, switch frame. Yeah, I'm gonna leave those all here. It's gonna leave all of this here. So let's go again with this. All right, what do? We need to have a look at the last example. We know screen 1 is working, so let's just copy this. Okay, so we need a screen 11 dynamic. Okay, it's this, and this comes in here. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and be a bit smart about this, is rather than go through and rename all of these in the code, what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to do like this, and then I don't have to. I'm just I'm creating a pseudo like aliases basically for these values. Then I won't have to keep accessing them all the time. I just do it once at the beginning like this, and then I don't need to touch them elsewhere. Obviously, in future screens, I just avoid this completely. I just start moving stuff straight away into its own thing. It just makes having to go through the code and update it all less painful. It's funny how you said build and then you'd listen, and I immediately thought it was to do with the previous statements. I was getting really confused by it. Because build kind of fits into that as well. It's kind of. Okay, cool. So we've got that data there. So now I'm going to take all of this out instead. So I'm going to duplicate that. Okay, right. So now we need all of that code. Comes with us into the new function, which actually doesn't have an awful lot. I could have probably got away with not doing that, but whatever. It's fine. Could have probably got away with not doing that, but okay, and I need to duplicate this. 11, 11, 11. Save that. Oh my god. There we go. 11 here. I think it was more work doing what he's sorry for. Oh, for confusing me. Oh, don't worry about that. It's easily done. I don't function very well outside of anything 6502 related. I seem to struggle. I've been enjoying doing some React. It's been nice writing fun stuff. Yeah, don't worry about confusing me. I mean, you can just talk to me, and half of the time I'll be confused anyway. Okay, let's give that a try. Hopefully that all loads. Screen 11 should work. Oh, no, we're missing a start token. Okay, we've done something. Oh, so look, screen 11, screen 11. Oh, okay, that one seems to have one extra. Did need to have them. So all the way over there, but it is. Actually, I'm going to leave that tabbed over. It looks weird now. I've kind of got used to them being over there for some reason. Oh my god, have I got another? No, I feel like I've got another window open or something. It's never mentioned if I gets angry with me. Oh man. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. Hey, screen 11 seems to work fine as well. That's good. So you can see this is working out pretty decently actually. Let's take a look at the change in the code again. Gone down to 8595, so we can see in here. Yeah, we're saving chunks as we go along, and this is all now loading dynamically from the cart. So I'm actually going to put a little star next to the ones that load dynamically. So we can see which ones have changed. Which, I mean, we can see it up there as well, but I'll put a star next to them as well. Why not? What was screen 3? Oh, that was empty. Okay, screen 12. It's just a swarm. This is likely to grow at some point, so this will probably get changed as well. I'm not going to do it now, but when we come back to this screen, we'll probably do that. Screen 20. Okay, this is definitely, I mean, look at the size of this. This is a lot. Absolutely going to benefit. So this is screen 20. So let's do the same again. Let's get rid of the previous one. Let's work our way through. Okay. Screen 20 dynamic. Put star on here. This is going to be the biggest saver, I think, of all of them. Save that file. This is screen 20 dynamic. Okay, right. Let's get the dynamic stuff out. To add it into here as well. It's funny because I got a tattoo of flags on my arm as well. I've got all sorts of flags on my arm there. So you'd think I'd be quite clued up on flags. Apparently not. Save that. Okay, so screen 20 dynamic. Okay, so persistence wise, we do have a little bit of persistence here that we need to keep hold of. Mainly it's just this warning counter. So I'm not going to do this again. I think I'm just going to manually change it. I mean, it's fine for this screen, but I've done it once, didn't like it. So, do you have a Z80 carry flag tattoo? No, 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 and no. Okay, so everything else should go down. So let's move the init up here. So the only reason the warning counter needs to persist is because we need to know when we go back in that screen that we've already visited. You know, at the moment this screen is half done. There's a few extra things that need to be done on it. We need to spawn the Robotron things in. We need to add collision. We need to kind of go through and do collision on a few things like the laser as well, and the swarm. So that'd probably be the next stream actually. Is this going to finish in time? I don't think it's right though. It's got a white streak across where the Mega 65 logo is on the front. It's got a white streak across it, or it looks like it had anyway. Maybe it'll peel off when it's on the bottom. I do. Oh god. I definitely need a joke bot. Can't handle these jokes. Okay, screen 20 dynamic. No, not that one. This one. There we go. So if any screen is going to slow the music down, I would expect this one too, because it's got a lot more stuff going on in it. However, I don't expect it to be more than a frame, because all it has to do is load this stuff in. It doesn't actually run any of this code with the interrupt flag disabled. Well, the enable interrupt flag disabled, if that makes sense. I feel like these were the wrong way around, but I kind of get it. Yeah, anyway, right, let's so this would be update, this would be exit, and then all of this should drop nicely into the other file. That closes that up correctly. 1 second. Complicated bit. Well, not that complicated, but a bit that I'll forget. Yeah, I get that it sets it. It's just when you say it out loud, it sounds really weird. So not fair. So gonna have to do yet another build for this. It's fine. It's all good. You fed up with the Mega already? I'll take yours for free. Okay, so it's just this warning counter which needs to be screen 020.warning counter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do warning counter replace with warning counter place all. I think there's only like 2 places in here, and then all of this is just the Robotron. Most of this is going to be removed, I think. All the stuff down the side. It's just for testing, really. Do need to check. Actually, leave that on as well. Do need to check that everything works correctly on this screen as well. So we'll have to work our way down to that screen. I think it should be all right. Let's make sure everything's set correctly. Looks good. Obviously, this screen, as I say, needs to be finished. So there are things that we're going to have to check. But if we can just get it doing what it was doing before, then I'm happy. Okay, so is that being loaded in? It is being loaded in. It's dynamic on there. It's loaded in here. Okay, let's give that a try. Have a look at the output. Okay, so we've got an error. Warning call pause. Oh, that's here. That's why. Okay, these labels. That's fine. We need moving. I'm pleased. I've managed to achieve what I set out to do. So that's good. All right, let's get down to that screen. Is it satisfactory? It is satisfactory. Or do you mean, am I going to play satisfactory? No. I'll let you know in a second. Oh, no. Okay, so we've got a failure there. Figure out what that is in a minute. But .83CF is what it's taken us down to. So not including the 2 screens that we did up front. This has saved us it's probably saved us around 1 kilobyte already, but what it's doing is when we add all the rest of the screens in, yeah, I know it was a play on the game title. What it's doing for future screens is it means that the future screens aren't going to take huge chunks up. So like that Robotron screen took a huge chunk up, which means while we're not saving a huge amount on what we originally had, what we're doing is we're ensuring that the block of memory we've got from 8,000 up to B1000 is free for us to do other stuff. Well, 8,000 to 8,000. So basically, we've got 8 kilobytes to store all of this screen data in. We've now shrunk it by about half. And I think there's more to come as well. I mean, I don't know how big these ones are. See, anytime it's got these registers in, it's probably worth doing. Yeah, like this one as well will probably be worth doing as well. So even though they're small, they will soon rack up kind of savings. So it gives us an extra. We're probably going to end up with around about an extra 5 or 6 kilobytes of code room that we can mess around with. Then we can probably free another 2 kilobytes up by moving things like laser code, swarm code, things like that. But so far, I'm kind of pleased with the results, except for this one screen which is now broken. So let's go and figure out why that screen is broken. So let me jump into Game Loop. Let me set this to be screen. What screen did we just set? 20. So let's set this to be screen 21. So 1.5. Let me set the play positions back to that. Let's have a look what's going on here. And so far, all the screens have been good, but this one seems to be failing for some reason. Yeah, okay, there's a definite failure going on there. Yeah, let's take a look. So we've got screen 20 dynamic, Screen 20 dynamic. There we go. There's the problem. So it wasn't copying any coding. So it was failing after it loaded the screen. It was failing. I forgot to do the other half of it here. So it's good, you see. So this is, now it's set up, it's quite easy to do. And there's still other things we can do as well. So things like sprites, for instance, they can be dynamically loaded in. We don't need to have all the sprites in memory all the time. Yeah, perfect. There we go. Cool. So screen 20. Let's do another screen. It's going well. I like it. It'd be nice if I could kind of make this auto. I know it's only a few bytes. What did I say? It was like 15 or 12 or 15 or something. But even that, like if you did that over, I can't remember how many screens are. I think it's 60 or something. That's still going to be around about a kilobyte just for this initialization code. Then you've got any persistence as well. So the two things, the biggest thing is going to be the persistence code. So some of the screens have lots and lots of things on them. So if I just go and have a look at the map, you zoom out a little bit. Well, there you go, like that screen here. Each one of those is going to have a persistence entry in the table. And those persistence entries are, I think they're 3 bytes each. So there's a few things that are going to have 3 bytes each on here. So that's a bit of space that has to be taken up. There isn't a way around that, unfortunately, because we can't store that on the cartridge. We do have save files on the cartridge, but we won't be using them for that. It's only 2 kilobytes of save room. There's another big area. I can't remember where it is now. I think it's down. Yeah, it's down here in this block, I think. Yeah, like here. Look at that. This area is going to be full of persistence data as well. So it's soon going to build up, but it should take a lot less than it was before. Could you write temp? I don't think I'd have enough room to do it. There's only two kilobytes of saved data, and I want to be able to save high scores and stuff in that. So. And it wouldn't fit it all anyway, I don't think. But it's fine. This is exactly what I wanted to do now. This is freed up loads of room. There's a load of code at the beginning. As I was saying before, we've got the. Let's have a look. Where is it? Oh yeah, look, there you go. Oh, it's 100 levels actually. Yeah, so there's no way we'd fit all that at all. 7,800 to 8,000. So that's what that area is. So we can't use that. And there's a little bit before that as well. So we can't use, I think it's 7,400 onwards. I probably need to write that down somewhere. But there's a big gap for the music here. But yeah, things like the laser could definitely be moved. The swarm could definitely be moved. So that alone is 2 kilobytes just from that. Robotron code. Some of that could be moved because there's no need for that to be there. That's like another one. So there's like 3 kilobytes down there that we can move, which would free some stuff up there. But then we've probably got about 10 kilobytes for persistent code. But a lot of the stuff now is not persistent code. A lot of the stuff is stuff that can be loaded in dynamically. It doesn't have to be loaded in like this. So I think what we'll probably have is some set kind of areas where maybe one kilobyte blocks where you can load in this code on the fly. I'm just trying to think, is there any case where there's a Robotron, a laser, and a swarm? As long as you only need one of the files, then they can all load into the same place. So you can just keep a 1 kilobyte block free for these things. Robotron code is definitely one that could be moved. I think I will move that because that's quite big. Swarm code might end up getting big. Laser code's probably going to get... Yeah, so all 3 of these, but I don't think there's any place where all 3... Or multiples of these are active. I don't think there's a Robotron screen with lasers and swarms. I don't think there's a swarm screen with layers. I don't think any of them overlap at any point. And as long as they don't overlap, then we can definitely split them out into separate files. We also have the concept of static banks as well, which are these things here. So static banks let me just reserve a bank in memory that I can just bank in and have stuff there immediately. So I'm not worried about having to load it into memory. I just literally just use it as a ROM. I just load it in and use it as a ROM. I can't remember what that static bank's for actually, but it's used for something. Let's have a look. We'll look for the word static bank in here. Define static bank. There we go. Oh, some of the map data. Okay. This is auto-generated by Charpad as well. Yeah, so this is just. So with these, I don't have to copy them anywhere. I know where they are in the bank. I just bank that one bank in, and then that allows me to very quickly. Says it's a way of speeding up the map loading, but we could do the same with other things as well. So there's certain things that could possibly be just ROM banks which are loaded in as they're required. If we know that they're always happening, for instance, in the middle of the screen, and they're not, none of the interrupts are a problem at that point, then it could be a ROM bank. So that would be things like, let's have a look what have we got in here. Oh no, it couldn't because of the sprite multiplexer. So no, that probably wouldn't work. It's fine for screen loading because the multiplexer stops at that point. But some of the other stuff that loads in could be in there as well. So yeah, there's plenty of room for making this work. More of the background is good. 22 out of 50 on that one. All right, let's do one more screen before I stop. Let's have a look. So we've got 21. Let's get rid of I already had 21 open over here. That over there. Let's get rid of that one and that one. There might be a way of compressing the persistence data as well, and also could be a way of actually, yeah, some of the data could be compressed together, I think. So I'm pretty sure the persistence data is, yeah, like X and Y. That be combined. So X is up to 38. So that would need 5 bytes. Y, yeah, it can't really be compressed. But things like hit points and additional info, so they take 4 bytes total persistence data. So this could possibly be combined. There might be a way of combining the hit points into this. So this could probably be reduced down to 3 instead of 4 per item. But I'm really not. I'm very happy with the way it's working now. Okay, let's go and have a look at register bonus pod, because if that's big enough, I'm going to move that. Where's my screen macros? Screen macros, there they are. Register bonus pod. Okay, see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13. Yeah, see, this is more than. So even though we're only going to save a handful of bytes here, I'm going to do it. Well, we'll see exactly how many bytes. Hey, Metalcraft Games, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Johnny's in the last 10 minutes. Just going to do one more screen optimization, then we're going to stop for the night. So this will be interesting because this is quite a small file, so we get to see just how much we really save on these small files as well. Like, is it really worth it? I've got the value from before. Let me just make sure I did write that down, value down correctly. 83CF, yeah, I did. I remember doing that. Okay, so what do? We take dynamic. So we need this portion here, and that goes here like that. This becomes screen 21, 21. Screen 21. This becomes that. To really do anything. Oh, there we go. Let's see if I remember to actually put the. This is why having it on separate lines is kind of nice. Although it just starts looking very messy when you've got lots of them. It's nice when it's all blocked together like this. Okay. This just needs this on the end. So it's really not a lot there, but new file. There we go. Save that. One dynamic. The last place is in here. So I'm getting it down now. It's getting easy to do. So we're going to start on screen 21 here. Missing end token. What have I missed? PC. Okay, yeah. Close that block up there. Thank you, Mr. Castamon, for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Building a game for Commodore 64, yes, in 6502 assembly. Surrounded by a hell of a lot of macros, yeah. If the assembler gives me the option to do it, I'm going to make my life a lot easier. So, but it is still assembly at heart. So, okay, that looks to be good. Let me check the file size on that and what have we saved there. So this is an interesting one because it is only a small optimization. Yes, it's only saved like 6 bytes or something, but it has saved some bytes, so it is worth doing. We use a little bit more cartridge space, but we save a few bytes here, so not a huge amount, but enough for it to be, it's worth it, right? So I know, yeah. Every time I do that. That's a good point, Warlock. Let's be honest, it's well, not quite. I mean, all the JS stuff is, I get what you're getting at. It looks very JSy, but all the JS stuff is really just it is really just kind of help us. Doesn't, I mean, at no point is it running any of these at assembly time. But yes, it looks very much like JavaScript. But for instance, this is just replacing this code. I mean, you know this already, don't you? But for those who don't know, none of this runs at runtime. This all gets converted into functions. So these macro, it's a macro, so it gets replaced by the code that's in the file in here. So it gets replaced by these bytes, and all these if statements and evals in here are just to kind of work out which bytes to put in. So, but yeah, as I say, you already know that. Okay, that seems to be working. So let's just double check I can get off this screen, come back to it, because it doesn't run everything straight away. But it seems to be handling it okay. So let's go back up here. Yeah, it looks to be fine. That's really good. Let's drop into this one again. Yeah, all good. Awesome. Okay. What time am I on? I can probably fit another one in. I've been it was that easy to do. Let's have a look if there's any more that are. Okay, so this one's only got some JSR calls. I don't think this one would be worth it. I think the other one was worth it because of the screen macro, which basically was this. I think if it's only got JSR calls, like oh my god, where's the screen? There it is. Let's get rid of the last one that I did. There we go. this isn't worth it. I don't think this. It may save me like. In fact, no, it wouldn't, would it? Because it's like 3, 4, 12. It wouldn't save me anything. It would probably cost me something to do that. So I'm not going to do that one. This one has got passable areas in it. I think this probably is going to be savable. So let's just have a look at the screen macro for that. I'm pretty sure it's big. Passable areas. Yeah, see, it's doing all of this, which is big. So that's. I mean, it's not huge, but it will save us maybe. Probably save me $16 or so. Do you also use C in assembly professionally, or is it just a hobby? Which of the three? Definitely yes. And I mean, not really. So I'm a cybersecurity kind of analyst, pen tester, whatever application. So there is a little bit of C now and again. It's not an awful lot. And there is a little bit of x86 because you do have to kind of reverse engineer sometimes, but there's not an awful lot of that, to be honest. So most of this is just done for a hobby. Sure what it's doing. It's being weird as what it's being. It's a lot of fun. It is a hell of a lot of fun. So I used to be a kind of full stack developer, and I moved over to cybersecurity last year. It's been a steep learning curve, that's for sure, but it's been fun anyway. I'm really enjoying it. All right, let's build another one of these then. So let's go ahead and do this again. So we're going to do it here on this one. Again, there's no real persistence data here, so it should be fine to just drop this in. This is screen 23. See if I can do this before past. I've got literally 2 minutes to do this. Let's see if I can. Okay, so I'm going to import that persistence data in there. Still going to have it in it here. Go. I need that. And then I need to add it into here. Star on there. 23 on here. So at the moment we're just trying to find ways to save a little bit of memories by using a cartridge to dynamically load code in on the fly, rather than have it all loaded in memory at the same time. It's working out all right, actually. Saved me quite a bit already, and it's going to save us a lot moving forward. Okay, so that needs to be in a new file. That needs a new init. Like a minute left, so I'm going to do this. 23, new score, 23, score, new file, save that. No, there's no kind of real rush for me to do this in under a minute. It's just a challenge to myself more than anything else. Boom, there we go. Before the time is up, see if it runs. See how much code I've saved. And this is screen 23. I can't remember exactly where that is. I think it's... Oh, yeah, I remember where it is, actually. Okay. Code is down to 8388. Oh, actually, I saved us quite a bit. Saved us a few more bytes than we had before. Yeah, so that saved us 33 bytes. So it's pretty good. Crash bets. Let's have a look. So I've got to get to it first. I can't remember which one I've just loaded up. So I'm going to close them both and reload. Oh. The CTFs have done all the course since the Road Blast. Yeah, it is a hell of a lot of fun. A Linux sysadmin. No, well, that will definitely help you a lot. Most of my pen testing is done using Kali Linux, so familiarity with Linux. Oh shit, I shouldn't have gone that way. I get blocked in if I go that way. Yeah, so knowing Linux will definitely help you a lot, at least for navigating the tools, depending on what you're testing actually, because sometimes if you can get kind of a shell access to a machine, if you manage to kind of get a elevated shell, then well, even if you can just get a shell, knowing how to get it elevated is something that will be a lot easier if you know how to do that sort of thing in Linux. Let's try and trigger these. Bollocks, that's too close. Right, it's this screen coming up, so it's this one on the right here. Yep, and everything works. So it was just these passable areas that. So this masking behind this pole is what was loaded in. But yeah, it's looking good. Looking to start with web application pen testing for now. Yeah, that's. I mean, to be fair, that's where the majority of pen testing happens. I think that and apps as well. So Screen 24 definitely has another one. There's 3 of these in here, so we'll save a little. In fact, I'm going to do this one now as well before I finish. So might as well complete the collection, right? And that's all the screens that I can dynamically or that need dynamically loaded in. So let's do this one. Okay, so Screen 24. Let's get rid of all the older ones. There we go. Let's add it into here. So it takes me about 2 minutes to convert these, which is not bad at all, really. And I think this is going to save us a lot more. And we can see, I mean, I don't know what the original count was, but I'd assume it was a little bit more than this because of the screens that I did. I would assume somewhere around about that, maybe. So it looks like we've saved at least kind of 1.5 kilobytes tonight doing this. And as I say, moving forward, it will save us a lot more. These screens will very quickly take up room if I didn't do this. So I just hope that they don't take up too much room in the cart. They should do. I mean, if I have to use cart space, if I have the code, then it doesn't matter if it's on the cart or in memory. It's coming from the cart, so there has to be room for it. Go for it there as well. I just can't remember this bit. This is the bit I can't remember. I have to go and copy it from the last file. I mean, I can probably remember it if I spend a little bit of time, but right now it's just easier to copy it. It's a load file and then a jump. All right. Shit, is that it? Really? Oh no, I need to make the file. All right. So the only thing I need to be aware of is there is a fat table limit that I've created on the cartridge. Now it's a self kind of inflicted limit. I could probably change the code, but if I can avoid changing that code, it'd be good because it would probably mean quite the change, I think. So I don't think I'll hit it. I think the limit's 256 files. I have 512 kilobytes with up to 256 individual files loaded in there. The fat table itself takes up 2 kilobytes, I think. So I've actually got 510 kilobytes, but it should be plenty of room. It's like way more than I need, I think. All right, Screen 24. We might as well test that while we're here as well. See if this has worked. And we are at, I reckon this is going to be quite a chunky 834E, quite a chunky drop here. 834E. So compared to A8, that is, what is that? That's 62. So that's 90 bytes. 90 bytes saved there, I think. Is it 90 bytes? Yeah, I think it's 90 bytes. Easy Flash and Gmod 2. So if it's Easy Flash, I can actually have up to 1 megabyte. In fact, I think I can have more. I think they can do 2 megabytes. But the limitation is going to be the fact that for cheap retail production, it needs to be on Gmod 2 cartridge because that's the cheapest way to produce these cartridges with save. and they have a 512 megabyte limit, a 512 kilobyte limit. But that's honestly it's hard to fill that up. It is really hard to fill that up. Let's give that a go. So looking at that, it looks like we have saved, before we did those, after we did those first two screens, we've saved 3/4 of a kilobyte. But I think those first two screens were probably the other quarter. So I think it's probably either. But yeah, to talk about the cartridge, it's as simple as going in here and changing these. So I can change this to Magic Desk, and the image it creates will be a Magic Desk image. I can change it to Gmod 2 and it'll create a Gmod 2 image. I can change it to D64, but that won't work for this because I use static tables, so it won't work. Plus, what would happen is when if I did get rid of the static, it's not static tables, static banks. If I did get rid of those, what would happen is every time you went to load into a new screen, it would have to load from the disk, and that would be super, super slow. So while the system I've got set up in general for these macros works with discs as well as cartridges, there's no way this would work on disc, this particular game, because of the tricks that I'm using. All right, let's go and have a look at that screen. No, don't go in there. Right, let's try and blast our way through some of these. Also need to spend some time setting up the control system, because at the moment it's just using 2 joysticks. We need to make a single joystick option and a single joystick and keyboard option as well. I believe you can get onto this screen over here, which is screen 24. So this game is just made to ruin memory. I guess you're Turkin Hara. You waiting? Yes, this will be sold by Thalamus. So I'm doing this. This is actually was originally, yeah, it's working perfectly. Awesome. This originally was a Steam game. It was also released on Android and Switch. I don't think it made it to the PlayStation and Xbox, but it was a modern game based on Cecconoid, an old kind of game from the 80s era, late 80s, I guess. And this is a remake of that game. It's as closely as I can port it as possible, and it's pretty close, to be honest. It's got less particles in it than the original. Obviously, it's not as good at handling that many. I mean, the original is full of particles. But it is going to be published by Thalamus, and it's going to be on cartridge, and it should be out sometime next year. I mean, provisionally, I would say probably April, May, at a guess, because it is getting quite close now. It's really not too much hard stuff to do. The majority of the hard stuff has been done. It's really just donkey work there. There's a few screens that have got some stuff in that's not ready. There's collision with enemies that need putting in. There's a few things that need to go in, but the really hard stuff has been done. It's really just a matter of filling it out. We've got Jason Page doing the music as well. Will it be released before Pick and Mix? Probably at this rate. Pick and Mix is there. It's Andy's got it at the moment. He's going to look at it when he gets a chance, and that's fine. I'm not in a rush to get it. When I finished after this year, when the Mega 65 stuff is kind of done, then I will get some chance to kind of help out there with stuff as well. So it's super neat. Oh yes, there's definitely so Commodore 64. You can buy an Ultimate 64, which I have somewhere on my shelf down there. So it's a modern motherboard for the Ultimate 64. There's also the Mega 65, which has just gone up for pre-order today, which is a little bit more expensive. You're looking at about £700, I think, with shipping in the UK. But that's a modern machine. That's what I code on Saturdays. but that has a C64 mode on it as well. And there's a few other options as well. So like if you really don't want to spend too much, you can kind of go for the I mean, personally, I can't stand the company behind them, so I'd never buy them. But there is the C64 Mini, and the C64, which is kind of like almost like Pi emulation in a way. But I wouldn't recommend them. I would say if you can only spend that much, you're better off buying a second-hand C64 and just get it that way, because then you get real hardware. You can plug real joysticks into it and stuff like that. But there are plenty of machines out there. It's one of the best-selling machines of all computers of all time. So they are out there. The prices are going up though, because people are starting to buy more and more of them. Okay, with that, no, I'm going to end now. I'm going to go and find someone to raid. So let's go and have a look who's around. Let's Game It Out is playing SnowRunner. I kind of want to watch that, but it's got 3,500 viewers. I don't think he needs a raid of 38. I think he'll be fine with that. Chalk's playing Fall Guys, interestingly. Let's just raid Chalk. It's nice and easy, isn't it? Okay, guys. So I will announce the music competition on Saturday. It should be pretty decent, I think. Yeah, no problem, Metalcraft Games. I'm always happy to. I love kind of chatting to people. I love getting people back into the scene that may have not been in it for a while and kind of sharing their lives. That's what the stream's all about. So cool. Yeah, so Saturday I'll announce the Sid challenge, and I'll see you all then. Until then, bye bye. Say hi to Chalk. Oh, I haven't pressed start. Okay. Okay, you get me for another 10 seconds. Oh. Okay. All right, guys. Take care, and I shall see you all on Saturday. Bye.